Think about your oldest memory. Maybe it's your first day of school, a birthday party, a family trip. Now try to go further back. Can you remember learning your first word, taking your first step, the first time you looked into your parents' eyes? For almost everyone, the answer is no. And that's strange, because those first years were some of the most important of your entire life. Your brain was learning how to walk, how to recognize faces, how to feel emotions, how to make sense of an entire world it had never seen before. And yet, almost none of it stayed with you. It's as if the first chapter of your life was quietly torn out. So where did it go? Did your brain erase it, or was it never actually stored in the first place? Scientists have been chasing this question for over a century. They call it childhood amnesia. Sigmund Freud had a theory. He believed those memories were locked away somewhere in your unconscious mind, hidden but still there. Modern neuroscience tells a very different, and much stranger, story. And it starts with a small structure buried deep inside your brain, the hippocampus. Think of your brain as a massive library. The hippocampus is the librarian, deciding which experiences get filed away as permanent memories. Here's the problem. When you were born, that librarian hadn't even shown up for work yet. Researchers at Yale University found that the hippocampus keeps developing for years after birth, which means your brain was trying to build its entire filing system, while already being flooded with thousands of new experiences every single second. Imagine trying to organize a library while the shelves are still being built. Some books find a home, most just get lost in the chaos. For a long time, scientists assumed this meant one simple thing: babies can't remember anything at all. Then, in the 1980s, psychologist Carolyn Rovi Collier ran an experiment that changed everything. She tied a soft ribbon between a baby's foot and a colorful mobile hanging above the crib. Every time the baby kicked, the mobile moved. Within minutes, the babies figured out the connection. Here's the part that surprised everyone. When those same babies came back days later, many of them started kicking again the instant they saw the mobile. They remembered. Babies aren't blank slates. They learn, they recognize patterns, and they form real memories. So the mystery changed. It was no longer whether babies could remember. It became, if babies really can form memories, why can't adults remember being one? One answer is that your brain rewires itself faster in early childhood than at any other point in your life. Billions of new connections form while millions of others vanish, as your brain tears down old pathways to become more efficient. Some scientists believe those early memories were never actually deleted. The roads leading to them just disappeared. It's like saving thousands of photos on an old phone, then upgrading the operating system so many times that you can never open that old folder again. The photos are still in there. You just can't reach them anymore. There's one more piece to this puzzle: language. As a baby, you experienced the world with 0 words. You recognized voices, you felt comfort, you felt fear, but you couldn't narrate any of it. As adults, we remember by turning things into stories, replaying conversations, connecting one memory to the next. Language gives memory structure. Without it, experience barely sticks. By age 3 or 4, language finally catches up, and memories start to hold. That's exactly when most people's earliest memories begin. But here's where it gets even stranger. Psychologist Patricia Bauer studied young children and found something unsettling. Kids could describe events in vivid detail just weeks after they happened. But when researchers came back years later and asked again, those memories were simply gone. Which means you probably did remember your earliest years, right up until around age 4 or 5. Then, slowly, as your brain kept rewiring itself, those memories faded into nothing. And it gets stranger still, because even the memories you do still have aren't as solid as you think. Most people imagine memory like a video recording, perfectly preserved, ready to replay on demand. That's not how it works. Every time you remember something, your brain doesn't hit play. It rebuilds the memory from scratch, piecing it together like a puzzle. Sometimes it gets the picture right, sometimes it doesn't, and you'd never know the difference. Psychologist Elizabeth Loftus spent decades proving something that sounds almost impossible. She convinced ordinary people they remembered events that never happened, in full color, with real emotion, completely fabricated by their own brain. Which explains something strange about the people who insist they remember being 1 year old. Some of them might be right, but most of them are remembering photographs, home videos, and family stories told so many times that imagination and memory blur into one thing. So what's the real earliest age you can genuinely remember? Across decades of research, in country after country, the answer keeps landing in the same place, somewhere between age 3 and 4. Before age 2, it's almost unheard of, and from infancy, there's essentially nothing. At first, that sounds like a loss. But here's the twist: forgetting those years wasn't a glitch, it was on purpose. Imagine remembering every bottle, every diaper change, every random noise on the street, every stranger's face you ever passed. Your mind would drown in details that mean nothing today. So your brain makes a trade. Every single day, it keeps what matters, and it lets the rest disappear, so you can actually function. Which leads to the most unsettling question of all. If you don't remember any of it, did those years even matter? The answer is almost eerie. Those years you can never recall were probably the most important of your entire life. That's when your brain built the foundation of who you are, who to trust, how to connect with people, how to read emotions, how to explore a world you didn't understand yet. All of it shaped you, you just can't remember a single second of how. And there's still one question even scientists can't fully answer: where do those lost memories actually go? Some are probably gone forever, some might still be locked away, buried under years of rewiring, and some may still exist somewhere, deep in your brain, waiting for a door that may never open again. We may never know for sure. But one of the biggest mysteries of your entire life is hiding in a place you can never fully go back to. Your own childhood,